So who's introing? Who's introing?
I'll do it. Hello, welcome to the Blart cast. We're reviewing Paul Blart Mall Cop 2, which we just watched as part of our school esports club as an activity during quarantine. We have some statistics here. My name is Chris.
Nobody else introduce yourself, please.
I'm the only person here.
We're all just also Chris. He's just really good at impressions.
I'm actually the main character of Mr. Robot.
Oh fuck.
Yes.
Right.
Alright, so let's talk about some of these statistics.
So, Paul
Yes.
Blart Mall Cop 2 is in fact a hypoglycemic human being, correct? That's why we have a hypoglycemia count of 6, although I feel like it probably should have been higher.
It probably should have been
yeah.
I
higher.
feel like well, 6 sounds
Also,
about
just note
right.
Yeah.
that in the entire movie we have a blart count of 3. I mean, it's kind of accurate if you factor into account Blart's daughter, and Blart's mom, but that's not what the count was for.
Wait, how about we go through I'll read out every stat and then we can elaborate on
Okay.
it. So we've got hypoglycemia count 6, Blart count 3, mom count -1, kill count 50, wheeze count 5, Chad count 12, major L count 52, segue count 7, fat count 70, cry count 6, copyright infringement count 1, sleepy Indian man count 12, Rainbow Six Siege count 4, polite count 1, spit count 6, and cuck count 1.
Okay. So we've done.
So I feel like if we had a hypoglycemia count of like 7, that would be too much, and 5 just kind of felt a little low. So I think they really hit the nail with 6.
I mean, we were counting as the movie went on, so...
Well, I
Wait,
don't really know, but like I
guys.
feel like the filmmakers really hit it really well with
Guys,
with
where's
6.
where's the cum count, guys?
I didn't add cum count because it's a school server.
Fair enough. But this isn't a school podcast.
It would have been very.
This is not a
very
school
hard.
There is a
podcast.
scene in the movie where Paul Blart gets coomed on by an ice cream for like a good 30 seconds.
And they don't cut away.
Yeah, it just goes on for so long.
What about when the gun happens?
Yeah, he also Paul Blart's famous cum gun that he uses on someone and then himself.
Wait, no, we need... Yeah, the cum gun, when it's first introduced in the movie at 21 minutes and 36 seconds, is introduced by this guy in this completely monotone voice, and he says, Paul says to the man, "What's the latest, friend?" And the man responds, "The big sticky mess, a grenade launcher that shoots glue foam."
Yeah.
And then he starts talking about the gun.
Okay, so obviously, let's address some of these in like respect to some of the best scenes in the movie. So the mom count of -1. At the very beginning of the movie, just to invalidate everything that happened in Paul Blart Mall Cop 1, Paul Blart's mother gets hit by a milk truck.
Hold on, wait a minute. There's something we forgot to do. Just so any listeners know, heavy spoilers for the 5-year-old film Paul Blart Mall Cop 2.
That's been covered extensively by other sources.
We haven't reviewed the first one. We thought we'd just skip.
No
straight
one
to the
reviews
second.
the first one because the first one has a little bit of redeeming quality.
We're gonna watch the first one next week.
We're watching them in reverse order.
Yeah.
Oh, it's perfect.
Alright, actually, maybe we should get everyone to introduce themselves as someone other than my schizophrenic voices.
This late in-
Well, how about
This
we,
late
how about
into
we
the
introduce
podcast?
ourselves, and then we just... How about we introduce ourselves, and then we give a brief comment on what we thought about the film.
Yeah,
Damn, my
alright.
recording stopped.
Sam, you start.
Oh. Yeah, that's me. I'm Sam. So, Paul Blart Mall Cop 2, I gotta say, Kevin James knocked it out of the park again. As he always does. He doesn't miss. He has never missed in his whole career, and this is just yet another banger of his to add to his portfolio.
He never missed, you just don't know what he's aiming at.
Yeah.
He's aiming at perfection, and he never misses.
He's aiming at a landfill.
Yes, he's aiming at a few henchmen with his cum gun.
Oh,
Yeah.
Jesus.
No. His big sticky mess, a grenade launcher that shoots glue foam.
Of course.
Okay, who wants to go next?
Okay, I'm Div, and I feel like Paul Blart Mall Cop really changed my life, the first one. And so when I finally had the honor of watching the second one, it was like, if Paul Blart Mall Cop 1 was heaven, Paul Blart Mall Cop 2 was super heaven.
Super even.
You know, I'm riding on a dirt bike doing wheelies and eating ice cream. and
Eating
super
ice
heaven,
cream
man, 'cause
dripping out of a
this thing
child's
took-
ice cream cone.
This thing took me on a ride.
Alright, who next?
Okay, I'll go next. Okay, I'm Sky, and I think this movie. I've never seen Paul Blart Mall Cop 2 all the way through. I've seen a few clips of it, and I've heard a lot of things, and it did live up to my expectations of it. I think this movie was incredible. There were some parts where I laughed a lot, which I think is the whole point of the movie. And I think Kevin James had a great performance. I'm not sure if it quite matches up to the first one, but that's because the first one holds a special place in my heart. So yeah.
Alright, Logan.
Movie was pretty good.
Yeah. Alright, I thought the movie was quite possibly humanity's greatest achievement, and I will be crying myself to sleep after we finish recording, knowing that I'll never be able to watch something better than this.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
Okay,
It's a fair
we
point.
should go around and talk about our favorite scenes. Aside from we can't go with a cop-out answer like the entire movie because that's obvious. We all love the entire movie, but like some standout bits that keep in your mind.
I liked the bit where he was in the in that warehouse on the Segway and he talked to the shipping guy.
That was
whose
my
name
favorite scene.
Myrtle.
That was pretty good.
Myrtle. And then Myrtle pulled out his lunch, the brown banana.
You mean
and then
Myrtle?
unwrapped it
Pronounced
and-
like turtle?
Yes,
girdle?
Or girdle. It sounded like paper when he unwrapped it, and then it
He
was
chowed down.
Sam said it looked like a sausage, and he chowed the fuck down.
Physically sickening, honestly, but it was great.
I literally wanted to hell chunks of rotten banana.
The 15-year-old banana. Okay, what about
Did they? Is that how old it is? Did they say that?
no. What about the scene where Paul Blart is viciously attacked by a bird, like a large bird, while this man is just sitting there playing piano and watching him suffer.
He keeps nodding as well, like menacingly.
He's
like,
in control of the bird. He's using his psychic abilities to attack Paul Blart Mall Cop for his appearance.
It's for a show. It's like a hidden camera show.
Oh my god, he was. Is he the one filming the entirety of Paul Blart Mall Cop 2?
Holy shit.
Yes.
Paul Blart Mall Cop 2 is in fact a documentary being filmed without him knowing. I bet like the first one was filmed like he completely, maybe it was like a recreation of something Paul Blart Mall Cop actually went through, or Kevin James actually went through. The second movie is just legitimately someone's like spying on him because of his fame from the first movie.
Dude, I read somewhere that the first one was found footage from the mall security.
Oh, of course. Including the parts outside of the mall.
Yes.
Okay.
Can I just interrupt briefly and say that the three responses we currently have on next week's movie, they're all Paul Blart.
One of them was me.
We have plans.
I would say my favorite scene is when Paul Blart and the villain of the show, I believe his name is Neil McDonough, the actor anyway. They had a crazy off.
Yeah.
Vincent was the character's name.
Oh.
My favorite part was when Vincent pointed to his eyes and said, "I have two different colored eyes."
The one
So
time
that everyone in the audience knew that he did in fact have two different coloured eyes.
It was foreshadowing for the fact that he had two
It
different
was
colored
Exactly.
It was foreshadowing, despite him being on screen for multiple like minutes already.
I
Yes.
didn't know until he said it.
Okay. What about the scene where Paul Blart just dicks some poor woman, some poor elderly woman, absolutely ruptures her insides with a Paul Blart punch.
And then she
And
apologizes.
she apologizes to
She's
him.
fine.
Oh, I have a fun fact. That scene is the origin of the one entry in the polite count.
Oh yeah, the polite
shit.
count of one, of
I
course.
also have a fun fact about that scene actually. That scene was totally improvised on set.
That woman wasn't an actor. She just showed up and they said, "Hey, Kevin James, can you deal with this, please?"
Kevin, I know it's gonna feel bad, but I need this problem gone.
Look,
And so he just did the thing that came most natural to him and just
yeah,
did it.
because
Kevin was just too
the
excited.
director pulled Kevin James aside and was like, "Hey, Kevin, I know you're busy filming filming this movie, Paul Blart Mall Cop 2, but I want her gone. So if you could just oblige that, please."
They actually had to hold Kevin back from beating her to death.
See, the funny thing is, they actually have security on set, and I thought Kevin, being the star, would kind of just talk her down, but he just went for it.
Yeah, no mercy.
I mean, can you imagine how much editing they would have had to do to get rid of all the blood that he produced?
That's what I mean. This movie had a much bigger budget than the first one, didn't it? That's probably what it all went
Probably.
into. That and the bit at the end where he got absolutely sent by a horse.
Again,
was good,
improvised. All the stunts in this film were improvised.
Every time the cum gun appears, it's just CGI.
Did you know that Kevin does his own stunts?
Not surprised.
No way, dude.
Actually, yeah, I am
Should-
surprised. How would he be willing to take that type of hit for his like living trash can of a career?
Hey guys, should we address the major L count of 52 and the kill count of 50?
Actually, another fun fact: the major L count is lower than it was because I had to take some away for when he had a major W, but I refused to make a category for major W.
Wait, what was the major W?
I can't remember.
Oh,
Well, why don't we address the fat count of 70?
Oh, it's just Paul Blart is fat. He's fat 70 times.
It's just Sky put the fat count at 70, and then it never changed.
Yeah. It's because I guesstimated at the beginning of the film that he'd be fat 70 times during the film, and I was right.
you were spot on.
Exactly right.
Yeah.
Sleepy Funny Indian Man count is at 12 because we counted him appear on screen 12 times.
Absolutely. He was probably the main character, actually. Either him or the guy playing the piano.
I'd like to make a strong case for Donna, the funny black woman that made sure Paul knew that RoboCop isn't real.
Just in case Paul Blart was
Why
unaware.
was the only woman in the main Mall Cop squad also a person of color?
You got to tick those boxes. Everyone else there was like a mildly overweight middle-aged man. Wow.
If this film fails in one aspect, it's representation.
They try, but they don't succeed, really.
What if Paul was secretly a raging homosexual and that's why he can't keep a marriage?
Okay. Despite the fact that he's pursuing women for
That's
the
the best
entirety
case
of the film.
scenario for my dreams.
He's in hiding, dude. He hasn't come out of the closet yet.
He feels like his daughter would disapprove.
Do you say he's in hiding?
Yes.
He's
Also,
He's hiding.
can we
from
just take a
gays.
moment to appreciate the amount of story beats lifted directly from the first movie?
like and like minor bits as well when he slides along the floor and then squeaks himself back
Oh,
from
if we're
behind.
talking
And
about
also
like,
the
things
sugar.
lifted from movies, what about the
Oh, yeah, the
Shining
bit-
scene?
Yeah, oh my
Where
god.
it zooms in on Paul Blart from like the downer hallway and he's frozen like a deer in the headlights, just looking. And it's the best shot in the entire movie.
For context, I forced Sam to pause the movie and play a YouTube clip to everyone else in the stream just so they could see what I was talking about when I started laughing about that.
It was a very good shot, to be honest.
Yeah.
Oh, it was so good.
He like whips his head to the side, and he's like, oh. And he's frozen. He is shocked, and he is nailed to the floor. And then we get a reverse shot of the man he's looking at, and he's wielding a silenced firearm. He raises the gun, and it cuts back to Kevin James as Paul Blart Mall Cop 2. and he analyzes the scenario. He looks around with an expression of pure disbelief on his face, and he looks back at the man, and the man fires one bullet and then lowers his gun for no reason. The bullet misses, leaves a large, ridiculously large bullet hole in the wall beside Paul, and Paul books it.
The man won't shoot him. He's already loaded his gun. That's the rule.
Yeah, exactly. One
Yeah,
shot and you're out.
You lowered
and
your
he
gun, you
fucked
can't
it up.
shoot again. Hey guys, Paul Blart Mall Cop has killed 50 people, directly or indirectly.
Were they all Paul's
No,
kills, or were they
some
just,
of them
is
were
that
like
just a
other
general
people,
kill?
like that his like cronies also killed.
At least a tenth of them were actually Paul dying himself.
Yeah.
Like being hit by a
I feel like
car
it's still
and being
Paul's
hit
fault.
by a
though.
horse.
Paul is like a paladin who cannot
Yeah,
be
he got
killed.
hit by like a car and a horse, and like what? He fell down some stairs and out a window in a briefcase
Yeah, I was
and
gonna
nearly
say-
drowned.
There was at least 2 or 3 kills associated with Paul climbing into a suitcase and then pushing himself down a flight of stairs.
Can we just appreciate how the bulletproof suitcase was actually bulletproof?
Yeah, that made no
That's
sense.
true.
Who
To
would
an extent.
test that?
To
Who would
an
be like,
extent.
yes, this suitcase is bulletproof. I'm going to shoot it with my gun.
Why would you market it like that? Who needs
Yeah,
a
in
bulletproof
what
suitcase
situation
in
would
their
you
Paul
need a
Blart Mall Cop
bulletproof
2
suitcase?
does.
Best case scenario, so the person testing it shoots the suitcase and then accidentally kills themselves.
It's okay, guys. If I'm getting robbed by someone with a gun at the airport, at least my clothes won't have bullet holes in them.
You might, and the clothes you're wearing might, but the clothes in there, completely fine. Secure.
At least the Nintendo Wii U that I decided to put in my bag before I left is completely intact.
Also, remember that time Paul Blart, like, promoted, or at least, like, helped this person sexually assault a woman? That
Oh,
was one of the major L's in the
Can you
52.
describe the movie? Not the movie. Can you describe the scene for me? Just in our viewers, I would
So-
say.
Yeah, so this man's at a Nick Panero, I believe is his name. The man's supposed to be giving the keynote speech at the Mall Cop convention or whatever the fuck it was.
We just
He's
watched the
in a
movie and you
bar.
don't remember what it was.
Yeah, that's just it. Just goes towards the absolute
To-
quality of the movie.
to be fair, I never learned what it was.
Yeah, neither. For like the beginning of this movie, I was walking around my house watching it on my phone.
So we started out with like Nick Panero yelling in the distance in this bar, and Paul turns towards and sees he's just like screeching at this woman who's rejecting his sexual advances. And this woman is obviously very uncomfortable. So Paul goes over and says something along the lines, "If I see there's an officer in need," or some shit like that. And he asks what the problem is, and then the lady's like, "This man is gross, he's disgusting, and he won't stop bothering me, and he's drunk." And Paul's like, "He's not that drunk." And then eventually he convinces the lady to give this drunk officer a chance. And then the drunk officer passes out on the floor and is no longer able to give the keynote speech.
Spoiler alert, he was
Guys,
drunk.
I'm reading the Wikipedia page for Paul Blart Mall Cop 2, and it is absolute gold. Like, okay. Following the speech, Paul learns about Maya and Lane's... Maya's his daughter, and Lane's this person that she's, like, been following. She's been simping after for this entire movie. And rushes to help, but abruptly collapses due to his hypoglycemia that has plagued him for years. And then the next paragraph starts with "after recovering," which does not go into depth at all in the 30-second period where he gets, like, cummed on by an ice cream. He completely skips over that, because that's not important at all. Also,
I really like which has plagued
I
him
think
for years.
You might think that the most powerful person in this movie is Paul Blart, considering he literally cannot die. But then again, there was that one person who dodged 3 of his headbutts, 3 of Paul Blart Mall Cop's signature move headbutts, and that is unprecedented.
Which he did actually get to perform a headbutt. At the
Also,
very-
how did
very
Paul
end.
Blart Mall Cop just notice? The buttons on your uniform are wrong.
I would like to circle back real quick to the character Lane, played by played by actor David Henry from multiple Disney related things. His name is Lane, and that is the source for possibly the worst joke in the movie, in which Paul Blart is at lunch with his daughter Maya, who has something going on with this Lane guy, and he gets angry and then says very, very loudly, "Chicken Chow Lane," and it is the worst joke in the entire thing by far.
And everybody laughs.
And all the chairs started clapping. Also, in the Wikipedia article it says, at the end of the movie, after dropping off Maya at UCLA, Paul falls in love with a passing mounted police officer who reciprocates his advances, but her horse reflexively kicks him into a car. Which is, it's descriptive, but it's not nearly descriptive enough.
Guys, can I just read something for you guys first? I'm looking at some reviews of Pool Blunt Mall Cop 2, and I have two that are possibly the best things I've ever read, sorry. First one is 5 stars, and it says, "There are a lot of funny moments where you'll laugh your socks off. In some scenes, the plot was amazing, and you did not have to watch the first movie to understand that there is a lot of hate for this movie, and I don't see why." And that was written by someone who says that this is for ages 2 and up.
How did you find my review?
My favorite one though was this one. It says, "I saw Paul Blunt Mall Cop 2 on the opening night in theaters. I had to exit and re-enter the theater multiple times. The intense violence and powerful raw emotion was too much for me to handle. I sat through The Passion of the Christ without blinking an eye, but this was too much. Amazing, powerful movie, however, not for kids."
Wait, okay, I have some personal similar experience with this. A little known fact, I actually did see this movie back in 2015 in cinema, and the only thing I can remember about the entire thing is afterwards walking around the mall that I saw it in with my dad, pointing at the poster and saying, "Hey Dad, we just watched that."
It left that much of an impact, huh?
I have one more review. This is real short. It says no. The title is no, and the body paragraph is also just no. But this title also contains consumerism, which is a big warning sign for parents.
Okay, Rainbow Six Siege count.
Okay.
This started during the part with the expo, where they're showing off a bunch of fun gadgets related to security things, and I thought it would be funny to add a Rainbow Six Siege count, because it'll probably only get one thing, and it turned out it got 4. So, yeah, that was pretty good.
Yeah, so no more playing Rainbow Six Siege, just watch Paul Blart Mall Cop 2 and you get the same experience 4 times.
4 separate times.
Yeah. Another thing on the Wikipedia page, some of the links to other pages I think are really hilarious. Like, there's some obvious stuff like hypoglycemia, which, yeah, fair. Then there's ill-tempered bird, which links to the type of bird that attacked Paul Blart. There is links to the page headbutt, which is fair, I guess, because he uses it a lot. My favorite is that there's a link that links literally to just Miami as a place. It's just there's a thing for Mall of America. There's a link for Mall of America, but then when it comes to Mall of Miami, it doesn't link to Mall of Miami. It just links to the place Miami. Yes. Have you heard of this place?
I also did some research, and it says that this film was produced by Happy Madison Productions. Other notable films include 50 First Dates, the popular 2004 Adam Sandler film. Click.
It says Happy Madison Productions is an American film and television production company founded in 1999 by Adam Sandler.
Oh,
Yeah, okay, that makes a lot of sense. Bedtime Stories, Grown Ups, Grown Ups 2, Pixels.
This is just all of Adam Sandler's movies ever.
The most recent one that's actually been released is titled Murder Mystery,
Creative.
and it's an Adam Sandler Netflix movie.
Oh my god. Paul Blart Mall Cop has a 5% approval rating on Rotten Tomatoes. That's as many percents as there are Weezers in this movie.
I would like you guys to know that of all Happy Madison productions, the highest Rotten Tomatoes ranking is 68%, and it's a film called Funny People. The lowest rating is surprisingly not Paul Blart Mall Cop 2. There are actually 2 films that got 0%.
What the fuck? What are they?
They're Bucky Larson, Born to be a Star, and The Ridiculous Six. Neither of which I've heard of, but they both look absolutely dismal.
But do either of them star Kevin James?
One of the Ridiculous Six has Adam Sandler.
It's not the same.
It's not far off. And the other one
Wait.
doesn't either.
Sorry, I just wanted to point out, and this is to do with Grown Ups 2, not Poor Blood 2. But
Okay.
Grown Ups 2 was nominated at the Golden Raspberry Awards, nominated for Worst Picture, Worst Director, Worst Actor, Worst Supporting Actor, Worst Supporting Actress, Worst Screenplay, Worst Screen Combo. By the way, the recipient was the entire cast of Grown Ups 2. And Worst Prequel, Remake, Ripoff, or Sequel. The only other nomination it got at any award show was Favorite Movie Actor at the Kids' Choice Awards for Adam Sandler. And he won it.
Holy shit.
Oh my god.
This brings up the obvious question of what accolades has Paul Blart Mall Cop 2 been awarded, and it got nominated for the following awards at the Teens' Choice Awards. It didn't win any of these, but it got Choice Movie Comedy, Choice Movie Actor Comedy for Kevin James, Choice Movie Actress Comedy Rainey Rodriguez, who played the daughter. The Golden Raspberry Awards nominated
Look at the bottom
it
one.
for Worst Picture, Worst Actor, Worst Director, Worst Screenplay, Worst Prequel, Remake, Ripoff, or Sequel, and Worst Screen Combo with Kevin James in either his segue or his glued-on mustache. And the funny part is, it's not even a bad enough movie to be a bad movie. It didn't win any of them.
We should probably actually mention on that the segue count, because you mentioned the segue. I think that's important. Despite the importance of the segue to Paul Blart as a person, as a character, we only have a segue count of 7.
And it's on the poster as well.
Yeah, it's on the Paul Blart Mall Cop 2 poster with the tagline "Vegas has a new high roller," which is a pun about the segue. So I don't understand why the segue was kind of underutilized. Like, there was a scene where he just kind of got on a segue without it's kind
What
of
about
moved
the
around.
armored
Yeah, the
segue?
armored segue was
You mean
interesting.
the armored Segway that he stole?
Yeah, Paul Blart steals segways in this movie. He goes rogue.
2 of them.
Paul Blart became exactly what he swore to destroy. He's a criminal.
Paul
He's a
Blart Mall
felon.
Cop,
I hate
enemy of
him.
the state.
What about that time he had like a seizure on the Segway?
Paul Blart just blatantly displays his proficiency at stealing Segway. How many times has he done this?
Yeah,
It also needs to be mentioned that he talks his own Segway is apparently a modified Segway. Does that mean he's taken the time out of his day to I don't know, fucking oil the gears on a Segway or
he
something?
put spikes on the front.
He runs through missing children.
You can't find your mom. Well, you'll see us though.
Wait, how have we not? We haven't mentioned the first. I think it's the first scene. No, it's maybe a couple minutes in where he's at the mall. Actually, it might be the first. He's at the mall and he finds this lost child, and he brings the lost child to its mother, and the mother's texting, and she's like, "Hug the fake police officer," or "Hug the fake cop," and the kid refuses to. And then the mother keeps pressuring the kid, and then eventually the kid's sick of it and fucking decks him in the stomach.
Yeah, that's just how people hate Paul Blart in this movie. This movie hates Paul Blart. It puts him through so much shit.
Can I point out that Paul's mother,
Mm-hmm.
the daughter's grandmother,
Mm-hmm.
is portrayed by the actress Shirley Knight, who has been an actor since 1959.
Wait, what?
And she showed up for this movie.
Yup.
Incredible. Also, I realized something while the movie was going on. Someone referred to Paul Blart's daughter as Maya Blart, and that just really took me out for a second. I'm like, I've never heard that before, and I really wish I hadn't.
Maya Blart.
Another thing, the character that is briefly mentioned in the beginning of the movie, Paul Blart's newly ex-wife, who divorces him after 6 days for projectile vomiting. Her name is Jayma Mays, and if you go to her Wikipedia page, it says, She's an American actress. She's known for playing Emma Pillsbury on the Fox musical series Glee, her recurring role as Charlie Andrews on NBC sci-fi serial Heroes, and for starring in the films, and I shit you not, the first film in the list is Paul Blart Mall Cop.
Important one. I mean, to be fair, the first movie wasn't terrible.
Yeah, it was. Paul Blart 2 has 5% on Rotten Tomatoes, Paul Blart 1 has 9.
Yeah, it's slightly better.
Slightly.
Wait,
Barely.
sorry, just to go back to Shirley Knight, after a long and successful career spanning over 55 years, Paul Blart Mall Cop 2 was her second to last movie.
That'd be such a disappointment.
She was in both of them, and this was her she's not dead, she's still alive, and it doesn't say she's retired. I think she hasn't been offered anything. I'm pretty sure, because it doesn't say, she hasn't retired from acting, so I think just being in Paul Blart 2 ruined her career.
No, I think it was just so fulfilling that she didn't feel like
She
doing
couldn't
anything
find
else.
a
Could have
role
never
better.
topped it.
Nothing else made her feel alive.
That's the most logical answer.
Obviously, Sam, what the hell are you on about ruining careers?
I don't know, I jumped to conclusion, I apologize.
Yeah, a stupid conclusion.
Wait, okay, have any of you actually watched a Kevin James movie from after 2015?
No.
I've seen Grown Ups.
I don't think that counts as after 2015.
What about that show Kevin Can Wait?
Oh, okay, that does count. But have you watched that?
No.
Exactly. If you haven't watched, he's become that was Paul Blart Mall Cop 2 was the nail in the coffin. He is an irrelevant man.
Kevin James is gone. Until Paul Blart 3 comes out.
Rest in peace.
Until Paul Blart 3 comes out. Wait, if we're following the current trend, and Paul Blart 1 came out in 2009, Paul Blart 2 came out in 2015. We're due for a new Paul Blart movie next year.
Please.
Please.
Yes.
God.
I've never been more excited in my
What will
life.
happen
Shaking.
to all the people who have obsessed over Paul Blart Mall Cop 2 for so long? Will they move on to the new one, or will they stay with number 2?
There'll be a split in the fan base.
Will they hang on to their rotten, decaying banana of Paul Blart Mall Cop 2? Will they move on to probably the even more decayed, rotten banana? This time it's an apple. Same guy, though. What was his name? It was Myrtle rhymes with turtle and also girdle. That's just...
Except it was spelled in the most fucked up way
yeah.
possible.
Yeah, we watched this movie with subtitles. That did not look correct. Not in the slightest. Oh, good lord.
He can't save you now.
Good lord, our Lord who had a new blood in heaven.
Paul is so dense.
Physically and mentally.
Yes.
Would you say mentally? He's not dense.
Sorry. He's just...
I love how in the plot summary for Paul Blart 2 on Wikipedia, it describes the bird in the piano scene as ill-tempered.
Yes, I know, it's great. And it's a link to ill-tempered bird, which links to the actual bird that it is. I think is great.
Yeah.
I like how Paul Blart gets, like, flipped by a bird. Oh, it's very good.
Wait, there's no Wikipedia page for the man that played the funny Indian man.
He doesn't exist outside of this movie.
Okay, he has an IMDb page. Let's see, what else was he in? Oh, his IMDb picture is beautiful.
Wait. I
Look
looked
at
up
this
his
man.
name.
Oh my god, he looks like a mob boss.
I feel like I've seen him before.
Filmography. He was in a TV series called Baskets in 2019.
What's his name?
His name is Shelley Desai.
Can I just point out, he was 80 when this film released?
Jesus.
Wait. I looked it up, and it could be because I use a Koja, not Google, but I looked up his name, and it says, Shelley Desai. Shelley Desai is an actor.
He is. I just realized something. You know how we were talking about how Paul Blart helps a fellow officer sexually harass a woman? In the Wikipedia page it says Paul attempts to defuse the situation And he does not diffuse it. In fact, he was just making it worse. For himself and for her, and probably for the other officer. It was... Oh, this Wikipedia article is awful and I love it.
Oh my god. Wait, if you look on Shelley Desai's IMDb page, it says known for, it's got those 4 movies and 2 of them are Kevin James movies.
Yes.
What a legend.
He's just helping a buddy out. I love how this movie is just like so critically panned, but it's one of those movies that everyone loves because of it, you know?
Yeah, it's horrible.
It's so
I've
bad.
clicked
It's good.
It's the room of PG movies.
Wait.
the actor Saul Gunder. No, the actor that played Saul Gundermutt. His name is Gary Valentine, and his first acting credit, his main acting credit on his Wikipedia page, is starring as the character Danny Heffernan in The King of Queens as Kevin James's cousin.
Of course. Oh boy. That's a bit of a
no.
close-up.
Wait. So, Shelley Desai was in It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia 3 times? As the same character in 2005. Then, he didn't show up again until 2013. Same character. And then once again in 2016, same character.
Which character was this?
Huang.
Alright, this has been a solid time. Does anyone have any final words before we wrap this
Yeah,
up?
Paul Blart's a fucking simp.
Yeah.
Just the one thing I want to end on is that 1 was in 2009, 2 was in 2015. I'm waiting for Paul Blart 3 next year.
Yes.
Hallelujah.
Paul Blart Mall
Amen.
Cop 3. Complete the trilogy.
We need this.
Kill the character off.
Please tell me I really hope it doesn't star Kevin James.
Like how the Tooth Fairy 2 didn't have The Rock
Holy
in it.
shit. Paul Blart 3 stars Maya Blart.
My prediction is that at some point during 2020, Kevin James dies in a tragic accident, and Adam Sandler is pulled in to play Paul Blart.
I called that he gets hit by a car.
But he
Yeah.
survives.
He survives by eating someone's ice cream. I hope Paul Blart 3, the main antagonist, is just a guy who's constantly playing the piano.
All right, Logan. Any last words?
Movie was pretty good.
Dev, anything? Okay. Thanks for listening. This has been the Blartcast. We'll see you another time when we review
Wait,
Paul Blart Mall
we're
Cop
doing
1.
this again?
Yeah, we need to review
I
what?
thought we were out. No.
Wait, sorry, speaking
We're
of the
not
first one,
free.
can I just say that almost all of the votes for the poll for next week's movies are Paul Blart 1,
Thank God.
except for 3 of them which are for Adam Sandler's Grown Ups. There's a couple votes for just other random stuff, and then someone voted for Paul Blart Mall Cop 2.
Yes, let's just watch it again. We need to make this a weekly thing. We just watch Paul Blart Mall Cop 2 and then review it again.
I think we're just stealing this podcast idea from the podcast The Worst Idea of All Time.
Yeah, actually, that's a good point. Let's just do this one, and then
Let's
maybe
just watch
Paul Blart
Blart
1 as
every
well.
week.
And then we can release them in reverse order, just like we watched them.
Yes. Okay, thanks for listening, everyone.